Oh, right. We should be live.
Are we live?
Should be.
Ian, can you hear us? Can you let us know if you can hear us in the comment section, please?
Anybody out there?
As always, before we start.
There should be.
I'm sure you can hear us.
Test.
Can you hear?
Don't know.
Can you hear us?
There we go.
Oh my god, I've done it again.
What's that?
I've clicked off my thing.
Clicked off your thing, have you? Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Can you hear us, guys and girls?
That sounds painful.
Yeah, they can hear on mine.
That's good news. Oh, there we go. We get double volume going.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, good on mine.
Cool.
Right.
Good
evening and welcome to the Plastic Crack podcast. Me, Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors. Above me is Martin Seventh Son. Diagonal from me is Gamer Don with boots on the table, and to my right is Ste from On Point HQ. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
Evening.
Evening.
Where's your nice jumper? That's what we want to know before we get started.
It's in the cupboard.
Have you been made to put it away?
No. Have you worn it around? It comes out on a.
Like that?
No, it comes. I was tempted to wear it to Warwick Castle, but I was told outrightly no.
I did wonder whether that was a deal you did with Laura, that you would go to the castle, or she would go to the castle if you never wore it ever again. But again,
yeah. but no. It's in the cupboard. It's ready to come out when I do some medieval stuff. So need a Napoleonic uniform now, don't I?
Oh, bloody hell!
God.
But yeah, what? Yeah. So, what's everyone been up to this week then? Do you want to go first, Dom? Because you are back at last.
Yeah,
lovely to have you back.
I thought, after you trashed the joint, ruined the podcast, got it all, broken, I'd come back after 3 weeks out. No, I mean, you scarily all managed to get on with it without me being around. I thought, blimey, I'm not going to have a place amongst these giants of YouTubers. But obviously, you didn't remove the pass keys, so I got in. So there you go. What have I been doing?
Shit, Steve, I told you to get rid of that.
Damn it!
Having password that's a password 123 just doesn't work, folks. Sorry. Anyway, so what have I been doing? I've been on holiday, so I haven't done an awful lot, to be honest. Although I have to say, and it was sort of going to be a topic, but I hadn't quite worked out how to phrase it for tonight. But I spent an awful lot of time having a chance to read and do some research into what I want to do next and where I want to go with things like my Cleveberg project, and I actually really enjoyed it. And it's one of those things, I think it's because I mean, like you at the moment, Ken, you're swamped into doing the Napoleonics all the time, and Steve's doing his Second World War stuff, and Martin's getting distracted from doing his proper thing to do something else.
Yeah.
It's you kind of get in that swing of just painting and doing stuff, and actually having a bit of a break where you can actually do some reading and actually do a bit of background stuff was absolutely fantastic. So I started to read up, because I'm this sorry, Freudian slip, the brigade I'm trying to do with these Cleveberg. I'm set on 1812, and it was part of the 9th Corps of the French, and it actually didn't go in the first wave. It was sort of reserve and was used basically to cover the retreat, and was pretty much trashed. But I found it some really interesting. I never really read much about the retreat of from Moscow in 1812, and it's absolutely fascinating and quite traumatic as well. The whole,
yes.
And I really enjoyed reading about it, and really weird things like the division that my troops are in, which was I've just written down here, 26th Infantry Division, was led by a Dutchman of all things. So it was a combined Berg and Baden brigade led by a Dutchman, who then went on to he survived and went out to West Indies, or East Indies I think it was, and became a governor, and died about 6 years later of dysentery or something out there. But you think, so why is a Dutch guy leading a Germanic Confederacy of the Rhine Corps. So anyway, it was fascinating. So I really enjoyed that. So it was really good. But I did make some models, and that was about it. That was about as much as I did, and I've literally just started painting last night for the first time.
You got your little bit. You got your research in, didn't you? So that's just as valuable sometimes as actually doing the hobby, isn't it?
Well, as I say, it was just one of those things. I don't remember spending as much time as I did just reading and watching videos and listening to podcasts and just absorbing all that. Let alone all the stuff I was seeing, going out to places and what have you, visiting castles and that sort of thing. So it was really good. Really enjoyed it. Really nice. Can thoroughly recommend North Devon and Somerset as a place to visit. Oh, there we go. Martin's dropped something.
Martin. So, what about you, Steve? We'll let Martin recover.
Seems to be some kind of catastrophic accident there. I was quite busy, so I just made that piece of scatter terrain, which we won't talk about.
Controversial piece of scatter terrain.
Yeah, the controversial scatter.
Yeah.
But Steve, why did you only make half a tank? That's what I can't work out. Why was it only half?
Yeah, Steve, what's that all about, mate? What's only half a tank? Half a tank, half a job, innit?
It's going to break him now.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's literally all I did. That, and I tried to ignore my Napoleonics because I've only got the white bits to do on them. But it turns me into such a gibbering wreck. I haven't done it because that's just how I roll.
That's just how you roll. Why not?
Yeah, I'm just terrified of painting white straps on Napoleonics. But yeah, very very sort of short week for me. Just bit of scatter, but I enjoyed that tremendously, and it taught me to appreciate how good weathering pigments really are. They're going to be used a lot moving forward, which is kind of tragic, really, when you get excited about weathering pigments. I may need to reevaluate my entire life after that. But yeah, that was my week. A week in scatter. I don't mean like IKEA.
Right, so what about you then, Mine?
I finally finished Across Bowman.
Yes, all
with
that.
the Pavage shields that I've been working on for the last couple of weeks. Thank you. So that's officially all of my medieval models finished, apart from the box that arrived yesterday, which is cunningly hidden behind there as well. And I wanted a complete change of pace, so I painted something sci-fi for that Star Wars game. But that was it. And then because I got that nice box, I painted a single English Civil War mini because I clearly need that. And then I've just been sticking together endless amounts of Carthaginians, which is just what was happening. I'm trying to learn from Ste, and I'm kit bashing as much as possible. And I just tried to kit bash a standard bearer together, and one bit went flying, and I've cut myself for about the third time with a scalpel on the same thumb. So I'm a bit of a danger here. So there might be quite a bit of swearing from here.
Yeah, Steve's been inspiring me with the kit bashing side of things. It's making me think a lot more about, instead of going out and I know it's something stupid, I keep mentioning it, but my Italians, I didn't have an eagle for them for my command, and I thought, what would Steve do? That's what I thought, what would Steve do? He would make one. Yes. So what did I do? I found another kit from medieval stuff, and I used one of their lances and just did that instead. Use an arm from that, and it looks fine.
So, do you know when you finish kit bashing something? Then, so you've got you think, right, I'm going to build myself something. When you've finished, does that give you a greater satisfaction than just going out and buying the model you need?
Yeah, especially if it turns out all right.
Yeah, well, there is that. With me, if I finish the section, I'm like, what always goes through my head is that I know that nobody else will have that section. It's completely unique to me. So there we go. That's why I like doing it. It's
You're one of those, aren't you, Steve? When someone turns around and says, "Oh, those are good looking models. Where'd you get them from?" "Oh, mate, they're mine. They're unique."
Mine. Sit down. I want to tell you a tale.
No, it's always nice, but yeah, no, kit bashing is good, isn't it? I definitely enjoy it. But So that's what you've been up to then this week, Martin.
Yep.
For myself, I've been painting Napoleonics and I haven't been able to stop, which is crazy.
Addiction.
I've done 3. Yeah, I know it's not good. I've done 3 battalions so far, which is 3 battalions in a week, so 72 miniatures I've painted in a week. That's like a record for me. I'm back, Dom. I'm back.
Oh dear.
But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It's like they're really nice and easy, and I'm doing proper batch painting again. I remember doing. It's nice sometimes. It's like I'm doing some cavalry at the minute. Admittedly, horses, yeah, they can go die somewhere because I hate them. But
they'll probably go die on the table when you try and use them.
Yeah. That do you know what? I know it sounds really bad, but that's one thing that's keeping me motivated because I can't wait to play you with them. Because I know you hate French, so much. And if I beat you, it's just gonna piss you off even more, which is so sadistic.
Do you know, it's one of those things. Even
Simple
the
things,
guys
innit?
down my
Nice
club,
goals and all that, you know.
even the guys down the club, take the piss
motivation.
out of me
You
for that.
can't beat it, can you?
No, I think the quicker I get these done, the quicker I can see Dom suffer.
Well, I'm
dear.
pleased to inspire
But-
you in some way, Ken, even if it's a warped, weird way.
It works, doesn't it? So there we go. But yeah, I've been doing those. I've done 2 battalions of French and 1 battalion of Italians so far.
Nice.
And the white was actually the easiest part, and I could do another battalion of them right now. They're very
Okay.
easy to do. I can't. I'm doing horses at the minute.
Yeah.
But no, I did, honestly. I found it easier because the way I did it is I sprayed it with grey sear, so grey spray primer. Then I went over it with that airbrush with titanium white from Liquitex. And then first thing I did was just block out all the other colours. And then once it were all blocked, I just gave it a wash with a 1 to 3 ratio of Nuln oil and this, what is it, Citadel Technical Medium.
Mm-hmm.
That was the wash, so thin down Nuln oil, and it was done. They were done. That was it. Didn't need to do anything else. And they look great. Really happy with them. And I can see what you mean. If you go, it's like, do you remember that first mini I put up that I didn't like? I realised why I didn't like it now because I've looked back at the picture because the Nuln oil was too thick. The white didn't look like white, and that was the problem. It was like a grey, and I didn't like it. I didn't even dry brush them after. I haven't even bothered because I don't think they need it. But yeah, I messed up on one of the flags.
I've
on
done
the
it,
Italian
though.
flag. Yeah, but I couldn't sleep, so I had to sort it out. But the problem was it was super glue. Like, so once you super glue it, that's it. So I had to cut the flag off either side with the like eagle on the top, flip it round, and then glue the eagle back on as well.
Oh no.
God.
So it was
That
a bit of a
sounds-
finicky. It was a bit of a nightmare,
Yeah,
but I did
sounds-
it. I sorted it. It was all right. I sorted it, so it was okay. But that's what I've been up to this week. Have we got any? Oh, go on.
Huh? No,
I was going to say. Oh, right. I was going to say. Anyone got any news? Like news going on in the hobby at the minute? Because I've got a couple of bits I just want to go over before we crack on.
Quite a lot of people that have just dropped in to say hello and all right, or insulting me and you. So they're
So they're insulting us, are they?
So normal service is resumed.
yeah. The other two, all right. I've got Hayley's just said she didn't know Chesney Hawkes was into wargaming, so she's not getting back in the house when she comes home.
Oh dear.
I love it. It's so much abuse from your wife.
dear.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's quite
Yeah.
funny.
Well, while
But,
you're paused,
no,
I'm going to say hello to a couple.
Go
We've
on.
got Leslie, Paul,
Yeah,
Matt, Modelling for Advanced, Teach Kaiser, AM8. Those are the ones that so far put things in chat. So welcome. Thanks for rejoining. I thought you were going to disappear and go off to other more inferior channels on on a Monday night, but clearly you've all come back, so it's good.
I'll just say a quick hello if I can, because there's quite a lot of people who've just popped in. So you've got Ewan and Aaron Lowe. They say hello. Bill Roy. He's the one who wanted to know where oh no, that Ewan and Aaron Lowe were the one who said where's the Jester if he's going to be on tonight, but he's not wearing his outfit tonight. So Tom the Wargamer, Sebastian Allen, Battle Knights, Miller. There's the reason that my Carthaginians are behind. Andy Whelan, Matt Mail. Hello. Duncan FX, Hanger Flying, John Crone, someone called Haley, Welsh Wargamer. Damjan and Tom the Wargamer said. But yeah, hello everybody.
Evening, guys.
Excellent.
And girls.
Good evening, everybody.
News then. I've got a couple of bits of news. So just introducing this little segment to the podcast. Just basically, if we see any news during the week that we think would be good to share with people, we're going to do it. So first one is Warlords have got their end of summer sale on at the minute. They've got a load of World War II stuff. They've got some Napoleonic stuff. They've got that. Is it Eisenhorn? Their fantasy range as well. I can't remember.
Warlords of Erewhon.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Erewhon. Yeah, that's it. I can never pronounce that. But they got that. That's on there as well.
Fantasy
and there's some
Bolt
books
Action.
and bits and bobs as well. Yeah, 15% off. Especially if you're after one of the big sets like the Stalingrad set. It's 15% off at the minute. So go and check that out. And also, because I bought one, the Killing Fields grass static mat. He's on pre-order at the minute, but I only found out the other day that he's a one-man band for those mats. Mine, did you know that?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. So he only sells them when he actually has time to do them. So if you get an order in within the minute, they're actually on order. So that's what I did yesterday. But remember, it's coming from America. I don't think you got to pay any duty on it, but I think you have to pay the VAT when it comes because it's under £135. As big as they do, 6x4.
I thought they did 7x5.
Only on the older mats, not his new ones. He doesn't do it on the new ones.
Oh, well, that's kind of my reason that I wanted one, because it was a giant mat, because I want to play games on bigger boards. So yeah, that's annoying.
But it does look good, so I've ordered one. See how that goes. Be nice to play on that. But it looks really good. It does look really good. So
I did see the advert.
That's the little news.
It looked quite interesting, I must admit. But I don't know.
That's what I mean. It does look nice.
Justify another one.
Well, the thing that made me justify that one was it's actually static grass, so it's not 2D. So it's 3D. So there's like a proper little playing surface.
No, I get it. I get it. It does look really good, and I was very tempted. I don't know. May still do it. I don't know. Oh, actually, I just thought one piece of news I thought about. I don't know if it's new news or because Leslie's saying yours is old news, so there you go.
Here's Leslie.
I kind of love the feedback. Saga Age of Hannibal. I read it's now the 6th of October. I think it was originally supposed to be this week, wasn't it? But I think it's been put back a few days.
Yeah.
So if you are pre-ordering that. The other thing which I hadn't appreciated and I was a bit bitchy about I wasn't bitchy about it. No, the price of the dice for that game are quite expensive, as they always are for Saga dice. And I thought, oh God, here we go, another 4 sets of dice. But apparently the dice that you get can be used in all the subsequent versions of Age of Hannibal, or whatever they're going to call the other ones. The Eastern one, there's 3, isn't there? I think they're going to do 3 versions of it, basically. And apparently the same dice can be used for all 3. So in fact, that's not too bad.
What? But they've got like Roman symbols on them. They've got like laurel leaves and things.
Exactly. But then there's a Romanish faction in each of those other books, so you'll just use those dice for them. Somebody was saying on one of the forums. So that actually makes it a little bit more cost effective, because by the time you bought the rule book and 4 sets of dice, that's about £70 or something stupid.
I worked out. Yeah, it's. The rule book was what, 35. The dice are 12, and then if you didn't have it, then you've got to get your army on top of that.
Yeah, which is a lot of dosh, isn't it?
It's quite,
just for the
you're
rules.
You're getting a Games Workshop territory there, aren't you?
Well, you are.
I'm less excited about that now, though. Age of Hannibal, because I sat down and thought about it a little bit, and I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna bother, to be honest.
Really? Why?
I was
Why
because
not?
I've got all these cards. Well, it's a little personal thing, and I think it's probably just me being a bit picky. But when I think of Hannibal and I think of the legions of Rome, I think of mass battles.
Yeah.
I think of ranks of Triarii and Principe and Hastati.
Yeah.
And I was actually fully up for it. And then I don't know why it hadn't clicked with me, but then when I went and had a look at their starter sets and I saw the Roman one and I just saw 4 Triarii together as their half guard, I was a bit like, hang on, that don't look quite right. I mean, I think as a skirmish game, it will work fine. It will work just like all the other Saga games. But I think Saga lends itself to the Dark Age warfare really, really well. But in the armies that they're fielding at the time of Hannibal, they are, huge armies. That was just my sort of feeling on it. I don't know. I just thought, I don't know. I just kind of saw it as like it to me, it just didn't look right. But obviously, if people want to play it, it's totally cool. I want to play sort of games with loads of Hastati and stuff together.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I mean, the only thing that I'm interested in, well, not the only thing. I mean, I quite like Saga. It does give me a headache because you have to really think about what you're doing with it. But what I thought was interesting and might give some of that flavour is that epic battle mode. Depends how epic it is.
I've looked into it.
Yeah.
Have you seen what it is? How?
Not really. No,
I
haven't.
About it?
No.
So, from what I can see, and this is just for you, effectively, you have 3 wings of your army. So you have to pick your center and your flanks. Mm-hmm. Your center is up to 6 points, like a normal Saga army, and your wings are up to 4 points, and each has its own battle board.
Yeah.
And that could be allied. So your left wing could be an allied faction. So if you're Hannibal, you could have a Gallic wing or whatever. Or if you just want a massive army, you just have 3 battle boards. That's I think it works probably, but as far as I can see or what I've read, that's people might be able to correct me if I got that wrong.
You could,
but that's what
you could well be right. I did read somewhere that they were talking about the fact it was a way for playing multiplayer effectively, so you could have 3 different players. Obviously not these days because you can't socially distance, but you could have 3 players aside, each taking, as you say, 1 wing. So that would make sense. Yeah, I get.
If not, and you want to do single player, that's a lot of dice.
It's a lot.
You need Saga dice. That's also a lot 36 quid's worth of dice.
Well, it's also a lot of.
So why do you? I've never played Saga. Why do you need Saga dice?
No, I was going to say ask the same question.
Each faction has a dice specific abilities, and so you have your own symbols on these dice. So hang on. I've got the angle.
Do you feel like the dice are overpriced?
Yes.
On purpose, because you have to have those dice.
Yes. So you get dice like this.
I don't like that already.
But you don't have to. I mean, that's the thing. I know plenty of people who use
you could make your own
dice or make their own. As you say, so it is.
You just assign a number to a specific.
It's just
roll
a 6-sided dice at the end of the day. But I think the flavour of the thing, because the way it works is, so you've got a 6-point army, like Martin says. You could have, I don't know, 8 Hearthguard category. That's the sort of the elite troops, which would give you 2 dice because you get 1 dice per 4. The warriors, I think it's 1 dice per 8, and the levy or skirmishy types is 1 per 12, I think it is. And basically everything is one of those categories. And then you got artillery and you got warlords and that sort of thing. So basically, when you roll the dice, depending on what comes out, which is which matches to the historical army you're playing, you have certain abilities that allows you to do. So if you roll particular, symbols on the dice, that allows you to do a particularly unique thing that army is capable of doing in that turn or in subsequent turns, and they can be defensive
or just activate some units,
or just move you've got and fight.
Yeah, it's a toss-up, isn't it, between whether or not you're going to activate some amazing ability that's going to allow you to go into combat, or do you actually activate units? It's a bit of a resource management system. It is good. I really like Saga. It's got one really annoying rule in it, but I thought we might come on to that later. But I didn't.
Yeah. I've got a bit of news. I'll keep it quick because I don't think many people are interested in it. Last week, it was announced that Hasbro are going to be doing a remastered version of Hero Quest, one of the best fantasy board games ever made. And lots of people were really, really excited about this.
Yeah, they were.
But then the news has come out. It's only going to be available in America and Canada.
Yeah, a lot of pissed off people now.
So, well, someone started a petition on change.org.
What did Hasbro say why they've done it?
No, I think somebody did mention it. It might be to do with trademarks. I'm not really looked into it. I just saw the box, was instantly excited, and then it was pointed out to me. Oh, by the way, yeah, you might not be able to get this. It's only going to be available for distribution in North America and Canada. So I
from there, and then do you know what I mean? They buy a second-hand one or something, but then you'll pay.
Yeah, I think there'll be lots of that going on, but I just don't understand, because back in the day when Hero Quest was released, it was such an epically good game. Loads of people across the world would be so like me. I'd have a copy tomorrow because I love the game, but I think there's going to be some issues. But yeah, like I just wanted to get that tiny bit of news out because I was very, very disappointed.
I have got a copy of Hero Quest in the Losty.
Me and my brother have got it somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah,
but it's, how old would it be now? Christ, it would be 30 years old now. So yeah, it's probably not in the best condition.
Well, they're still fetching like 115 quid, 120 quid a set.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
And I imagine they'll be going up now. Once the new one comes out, they'll be like, "Oh, get your classic retro edition."
Yeah.
So for the uninitiated, i.e. me, what's so special about
what is Hero Quest?
Can you just send in that video? You know,
the Australian guy?
Yeah.
Why Hero Quest is so great.
It is. It's just one of those sort of. It was. I think it was Milton Bradley who made it in the early 90s. But in conjunction, they had with Games Workshop, so it was kind of Games Workshop involvement. But it was just such a good, simple board game you could have with you. You'd have 4 players and the guy acting as the dungeon master, and it was just such a good game. It was just atmospheric. It was a great intro game into wargaming because it got you thinking about fantasy races and. It was funny dice, hack and slash, orcs, goblins, and demons. It was just it was the entry level into fantasy gaming.
And there was one true character, the dwarf.
The dwarf.
Only real heroes play the dwarf.
But that's why it was such a great game. So hopefully things will change. It'll be released in this country at some point. But yeah, I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Leslie says the characters have now been changed to be a bit more PC as well, apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get. I was going to say, do we have time for a quick question before we move on? Someone's just put one in the comments. Damjan's just said, if we had the opportunity to create a model line of any theme or design or any scale without fear of success or failure, what would it be? I thought that was quite good. I don't think that one's come up before.
Oh shit!
Like that. Is there something that you would, bit off the cuff, that you'd want to create a model line for?
As somebody who's doing all these weird Confederacy of the Rhine troops at the moment, I would settle for a few of those, because even though Perry's do some obscure ones and various other people do, it's really quite difficult to get hold of some. Now I can adapt them and make them, so that immediately a thought comes to mind. Sorry, Steve, jumped in there.
Well, no, I thought I interrupted you.
You did, but I'm being polite.
Okay. We're so magnanimous on this podcast. I was just going to say the line I would come up with would be a really, really good old school cyberpunk range. I've seen some are good, some are crap. but I don't know. I've mentioned in the past I'd love to play a really, really good kind of cyberpunk game on the tabletop, but there's nothing really that appeals to me. So if I could go out and develop a range, it would be sort of Games Workshop Confrontation from the early 90s meets sort of Dark Future and Mad Max. I think that's quite possibly a range that will never be made, but that's my idea anyway.
What about you, Ken?
Oh, it's a bit of a springy question. I don't know, mate. There's a lot of stuff out that I've not even got a chance to play yet, so it's really hard. There's probably all out. I'd probably like a complete range of any troop from Second World War. So every single model, like every single army was represented with every single unit, with every single thing. So every single machine gun was modelled, every single rifle would be modelled, every weapon, every unit, every everything. So you could literally just go, even if it's so obscure there was only 2 of them or something like that, it's modelled sort of thing. Like really random combinations like that. Like, I don't know, Fallschirmjäger in India or something like that. I don't know, I'm just saying, just for example. I know it wasn't the case, but do you know what I mean? Just something really obscure, something.
Yeah.
That'd probably be me. But that's just me thinking now. But I'll probably go with I'll probably find out there's loads of Napoleonics that aren't modelled, and I'll probably say all of those.
Because you're addicted. What about you, Martin?
Yeah. Off the top of my head, because I'm sure that I'll just, while you guys were speaking, I was listening, but also sitting trying to think what war or what thing hasn't been done that I'm interested in, and I couldn't really think of one. I suppose the only thing I'd think of is I'm really into sort of the legends and things of like King Arthur. There's loads of historical Arthurian stuff, so you can get your late Romans and that, but I can't actually think of a range. So actually pitting that with a bit of a fantasy range of actually Arthur, the knights, those characters, so Merlin, and you can get wizards and things with no descriptive name, but Merlin and Morgan Le Fay, the Green Knight. Obviously, you've got the old GW one, but with sort of the way that the way that sculpting is now with digital rendering, you could come up with some really cool poses. And plus, you got the monsters.
Beckham's face on it, mate.
Huh?
You could get David Beckham's face on it.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm gonna go back to literally. Well, of course, I'm cutting my plaster is coming off now. I need a new one.
I'll tell you one
do
thing,
a couple of
just
shout outs
thinking...
quickly.
Sorry, carry on.
Oh, go on. No, I was just gonna say hi to Steve Reese, Mark Wright, NI Miniatures. Welcome, guys. Thanks very much for joining us this evening.
Hello.
Also, I'll say hello to HM Scale Modelling. He says hi from Germany. Hi, HM Scale Modelling.
Oh!
I was just going to say one thing that came to mind.
Nick Games has just joined as well.
Sorry. Carry on.
Sorry, no, I was just saying Nick Games is he's just joined, and Solvent Abuse UK. And Fraser's just popped in.
Hey, Fraser.
Hello.
Hello.
I love that Solvent Abuse. I see comments from him on various channels, and including mine, I think, and I kind of find it quite an amusing name. It's a really good one. I just suddenly thought of a sort of thing that would be lovely to do, and it's kind of she was figure range or what have you, and it's inspired by what you were trying to do, Martin, with your Carthaginians before you gave up and did other things. Thinking about the ability to sort of set them in a certain campaign or a period, and like you were doing yours all. What's he doing?
I have no idea. What is he doing?
My wife just passed me a beer, but opened it. Look at that.
What kind of beer is that? Oh my God.
That's French. That's French.
Haley, you're going to sort that out, girl. God damn.
That's French, isn't it?
Yes, if I could have a flake for this, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely. Are you gonna shave with that one or what? Yeah, so I was I thought it'd be lovely to have the ability to really personalize things, like you're doing with your Carthaginians, making it a winter kind of themed, to do something similar but in all different periods. And you see them occasionally, and like I'm looking at a lot of French Indian War stuff at the moment, and you can buy troops in sort of summer wear, summer uniforms, and then some in winter. And you see it in bolt action. Some of the armies are summer and winter, but some periods just have nothing. It's just literally parade ground. And it'd be lovely to have that variation in all sorts of troops.
That's a really good point, actually, especially for Romans. Actually, thinking about how many people like playing Roman Britain and Hadrian's Wall, and the troops that were stationed there often had cloaks, and they wore the sort of leg,
trousery type things, didn't they?
Yeah. That's a really good point, actually. I didn't. Better get in touch with the Perrys.
Yeah, but it's always sorted out with the Perrys. We'll get them back on and grill them. Say we need this next. Please go away and sort it out.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Are we still here?
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah.
Well, you're not.
No,
I don't think Martin is.
Not after your beer.
No, I think Martin's
disappeared.
He's
frozen.
But no, I've got. Should we move on to? Oh no, you're back.
They can still hear me.
Yeah. You better not say anything rude, because that would be fun.
He did this. I know he's gone. There you go.
He's
coming back.
Blah, blah, blah,
he did this. He did this last week. No, I was going to say there's a couple of questions I've got here as well. After you've done that one, should we move on to questions and stuff like that? Should we start getting into them?
Yeah. Well, Paul Richardson just said the Clang Wars need a range doing. I don't know whether that's a mistype or my ignorance. What the hell is the Clang Wars? I thought anyway. That's what.
Clan Wars.
Clan Wars.
You mean clan? Clan.
I don't know.
I have no idea what the Clan Wars are.
Clangers, certain of us, certain
Clangers, yeah.
Clangers.
The Clangers.
The wars between the Clangers.
That's a skirmish game right there.
That is a. I mean.
And here comes Tiny Clanger with his battle axe.
Yeah. I think that would be great. I'm going to copyright that before anyone else comes up with it. I'm copyrighted. All right.
Tiny Clanger with a battle axe.
Oh Jesus. Anyway, let's move on to proper questions. Go on then.
Yeah, right. So I got a couple here. So Steve Reese has said, just on the mat side of things, Martin, 7 times 5 foot mats from Tiny Wargaming. If you've heard of them or not heard of them.
No, but I'm about to write it down.
Yeah, and he's put question: what reference/books do you use for your naps, especially if they're one of the less known armies? Well, I've got a link that the guy sent me, which is handy. What I use for reference, but that's mainly mainstream armies, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, it's the Waterloo armies.
Yeah. So lesser known stuff. I'm not really clued up to say this because I haven't done any. So, what about you guys? So Martin and Dom. Dom's playing.
I think mine will be very quick. I would just start. I would look at things like Osprey first of all to see if there was a book by Osprey, and then I would look elsewhere. But Dom's done far more on obscure stuff than me.
Right, chaps, ready? Let's begin. Do you know it's actually one of the beauties of this period, and it's one of the things I really enjoyed. I just mentioned at the beginning of the chat is I spent an awful lot of time the last couple of weeks doing all sorts of research into it. And it's not easy to get at the really obscure armies, but it is out there. But the way I'd start is, like you say, Ospreys, they're a really good source. But there's also a guy, oh God, I can't think, is it Rawkins? He does, I have to put it in the chat below because I can't remember his exact name, but he does, Rawkins, W.J. Rawkins. He does a whole series of online or CDs, basically, all obscure armies from the Napoleonic period. And it gives you all the uniforms, the history of the different troops. So like here, I've got the Army of the Kingdom of Sweden. I've got the Grand Duchy of Baden. Somewhere around here, I've got the Cleveberg one. I've got various Bavarian ones and all these kind of things. So they're a really good source, and they cost like £5. It comes as a DVD.
Oh, so they're pretty cheap.
Yeah. And this is just packed full of really interesting information.
If you could
have
send
you got
us
a link to
that would be ace.
I'll give you a link. You can buy them on eBay. Actually, you just put in WJ Rawlins, But I'll send you a link if I can find it. But they're really good.
Could you put it on the
Rawkins.
Miniature Wargaming Warriors Facebook?
I
Because then
can indeed.
Steve will be able to see it as well.
I will do that.
Yeah. There you go, Steve.
So that's that.
and
the
then
other
just
thing
one-
I would suggest is go on the. Sorry, I did say it'd take forever for this, but the other one I would just put a shout out for the Napoleonics Miniature Wargames Facebook page. While they can be a little bit tetchy at times, they also are a tremendous source of information. And if you ask a question on there about, something, I was trying to find out about the composition of this particular corps that the Cleveberg were fighting in 1812, and a couple of guys sent me links to some online resources that just literally broke it down to individual companies of troops. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. So, as I say, they can treat them a little bit of caution because they can be a little bit difficult at times. But some of them can be a little bit frightening. But there's such knowledge out there. So that'd be two things: Rawkins and the Facebook page. There you go.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's really good. Cheers, Dom. Thanks for that. And then he'll be getting some of those. He said about the DVDs. And then Mark writes us, just bought Black Powder starter set, the Waterloo 2nd edition. Good man.
Well done,
Going through that at the minute, it's great. Yes, well done. Also bought a box of British Line infantry from Perry Miniatures. Oh, okay, nice one. Oh, this is Mark. Oh, Mark was asking me some questions the other day actually about what I've done and things like that. And I said, I tried to convince him, like the good wargamer I am, to say, be good and don't give in to pressure and buy extra. Not straight away, just do that box. And then because you never know. Because, like what Martin was saying earlier, I might get burnt out doing something like line regiments, and I might want to do some cannons just to break it up. So that's why I really, really struggled not to take that British box off you as well, Martin.
Do you want it?
No, not yet.
Still it?
Yeah. I'm sure I'll probably go. Yeah, I'll have it in about 6 weeks' time. But yeah, no. It's that's one of those. But no, that was that for the question. Was there? Have you guys got any questions for anyone
update on that name, that chappie. So I found that he has his own website. It's called the History Book Man. So if you put that in Google, you'll find him.
History Bookman.
History Bookman. Cool.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh yeah. And I watched all of those YouTube videos for that Napoleonics. Is it the Tiny Wargaming? Is it?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
No, it's
Epic Wargaming.
Epic Wargaming. That's it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Is that good or what?
Very, very
literally.
Was it the one I recommended?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, if you're doing what,
absolutely
if you're going to do, wasn't it, Justy? So good.
What I liked about it was they were detailed, but they weren't so detailed that you got distracted by things. I just wanted to keep watching, and the way they did the battles as well, the overlay and the movements, it was just so interesting. It really was. I mean, all in all, there was about between 4 or 5 hours worth of documentary there. But I watched them over a couple of nights. It taught me so much in such a really cool educational way.
It's a good series, really good series.
Let's see if there's any questions here. I'm sure I've just gone past one. Oh, someone said, are there any? Oh, it's Andy said, are there any upcoming games models or Kickstarters you're looking forward to? I guess the Hero Quest thing kind of counts, but doesn't count because you're looking forward to not being able to get it.
I'm looking forward to not having it and being very angry about it.
So you're looking forward to in a few weeks' time there's going to be some ranting.
Yeah.
There was a Kickstarter I just went into. I'm just trying to find the name of it. It was French Indian Wars, which
Baron Wars Part 3, is it?
It's what? Sorry? Baron Wars.
It's not Baron Wars Part.
No, it's a Brigade. I think. Oh no, hang on. Is that one? No, it's not that one. There's a new one.
Gone into so many, Dom.
I know there are so many. It's ridiculous. I can't see it now. There is a new Kickstarter that's just started up on French Indian Wars. So it looked really, really good. So
okay.
try and find it.
You have to send us a link for that as well.
This is
I'm trying to.
Bloody hope.
Right, you got no self-control, have you?
Look who's talking. Look who's talking. How's that 100 Years War project coming, Ken?
It's done. It's done.
Seriously,
They're all
That's
done
it?
up there.
No, it's not. You're done.
Hey,
We're in
excuse me.
Mountains
On
Night.
that box, it said English Army. It didn't say English Battalion, did it?
But you bought some knights,
Yeah, they're done.
are they?
They're not sat right there in shot. No, at all. No.
Oh my goodness.
They're half done. They're half
Steve,
done.
these two are getting
That's
into
nice to
turning like an old married couple, aren't they? They like bicker all the time. It's ridiculous. Jesus.
It's because I got really resentful when he came over to play a game that he has these stupid dice rolls that are just beyond lucky, and I don't understand. It's
But you won,
and also
though,
combine that
didn't
with
you?
my terrible dice. I did win. Let's just all remember that I still won.
You still
Just.
Yeah, just.
So the
Where is it?
Kickstarter is, I've
Somebody
just
else.
found it. It's 28mm French and Indian Wars frontiersmen from Tabletop Games, who are in Yorkshire somewhere, East Riding of Yorkshire. So they've just started a range, I say frontiermen, but they're also, you can buy into it and get some of their other figures, which look really nice as well. So there you go.
Okay, I've been enjoying that. I've played a couple of games of Muskets and Tomahawks now, and I really enjoyed it. Although the first game was definitely a learning curve, a bit of a steep learning curve for me, and then the second game it was much more even. So, but then Ken told me some rule about them, about the Native Americans who had to throw their tomahawks, which I've overlooked.
Oh yes.
So
Well, you've got to
he
do
wouldn't
that.
do-
If
he
you
wouldn't
paid
do
the
that,
price
Dom.
for that, you've got to do that.
Yes,
Yeah,
no,
yes.
I will be.
Yeah, yeah. If you've got the troops, I mean, some troops. Yeah, I've got a game of that tomorrow night actually, which I'm quite looking forward to it. So we're doing a socially distanced game of 4 of us, which is going to be intriguing. I don't know how we'll get around the table, but we'll. But we're going to be doing
Tag team, innit?
AW. Yeah, American War of Independence. I'm playing God's Own British, of course.
For sure.
Yeah. So there you go. Question.
That was good. Yeah, go on. Question. Yeah, I was going to say, do you want me to bring my French up then on Friday?
Oh yeah, bring them up. Like, we could do with a laugh. Get them out.
Just so he can stamp on them,
Exactly.
literally.
No, bring them along. We can have some fun with them. So I've got a question from Leslie. In fact, 2 questions from Leslie. So let's put this one out there. So he said a couple of teenagers come into the club to find out more about wargaming and modelling. I think it doesn't have to be teenagers, as we established, but a couple of new faces come into your club to find out about modelling and wargaming. What advice would you give them? And would you get them to join in with your game? And how would it help them to get into the hobby? Thoughts? I guess it's difficult.
I'd get them to join in, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though they're
I'd just
complete
let them take
fresh-faced
command or
noobs.
something. Yeah. Just well,
Yeah.
if they-
Whenever,
yeah.
I
Sorry.
was going to say, whenever I've taught, like, shown them how to play a game, what I tend to do is to say to them, well, what do you want to do? And I'll tell you how what you want to do fits in to the rules, rather than just saying, well, you can't do this, definitely not that, and don't do that. Just get them to tell you how they want to play the game, and then kind of explain the rules to them that way. So no, I would definitely take that approach.
Yeah.
Good idea. That's actually a really good idea.
I think
a really good idea, actually, Steve, to be
my feeling would be it depends on the game you're playing, right? So if you're playing a bolt action or a black powder or even a sharp practice or a muskets and tomahawks, it's pretty simple to give them a few troops or a couple of units, whatever is appropriate, and say, come on, have a go, and roll some dice, just give them some advice. You know, I think we probably all started to some degree like that, having somebody sort of showing you through the basics of how it worked and what you needed to do, and let you make mistakes if you're off your own back. But some of the games are just not possible. I mean, they're just so... I mean, Saga is a classic instance. If somebody walked in off the street and tried to play Saga, good luck. I mean, you know, it's too complicated. So I think, you know, there's others more inverted commas serious war games that make it harder, but I think, yeah, absolutely. You should, I mean, I can think when my club used to meet, you know, we used to have from time to time people just popping in just to see what it was like and what was happening, and you'd always try and get them in a game, and particularly a big figure game that had a lot of units in it and a lot of people taking part, because, you know, don't matter you guys, half of the fun for me is the banter and the laugh you have with your mates around the table, taking the piss out of them and you know, laughing when they fail to mute.
We do on like we do on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about. And so to get them enthused and, you know, excited in that, it's kind of half the game, really. But yeah, definitely. If you don't try, you don't know. No,
that's. I think you. Yeah, I think that's spot on. So can I just? This is one comment I've seen that I've got. I've got to. Battle Knights has said, "Is Ken the same ginger dude that plays muskets and tomahawks with Dom?"
Yes.
No.
Plays is a strong word.
Yeah.
My friend Simon has just popped in, who is the guy who always controls the Hanoverians when we use them, and he does amazing things with them. So he's seen off the guard a couple of times. So he was very pleased to see that, Ken, when the guard ran the Hanoverians.
I liked your editing skills of getting actual bits from Waterloo in there. So when you see Napoleon's face, when the guard
reculing.
Like,
oh, I love it.
I tried to find a clip of Sharp getting like them all running away, but apparently that doesn't happen in all of the 20 odd episodes or whatever it is. He never runs away, so I had to make do with
Brilliant.
And King
maybe you should ask Sean Bean. Maybe you should say, Sean Bean, can you just do a video of you running away from something, please? Just so I can use it in my thing for parody.
Plenty of ones of him die. He just didn't die in the one thing that I need him to for my videos.
Couldn't you just splice something from Game of Thrones or whatever and just stuck him in there?
Yeah, you could do it with him getting his head chopped off or something, and yeah, that'd be quite good.
Come on,
yeah, we
be creative. A bit of splicing, I'm sure you could make it look good.
I'll see what I can do. We need to start playing some. Actually, to be fair, my friend's got the Game of Thrones game, so if I give him a game and then lose with the Starks, I'll put it in.
Oh dear.
Poor old Sean Bean.
Yeah, Leslie, it's going to be a 6x6 table. You're quite right. Or a 6x4 table, I think we're going to do, actually. Leslie says, for our social distance, it's got to be 6-foot table. Quite right, it has. It will be. We'll stick at the corners as well. I'm not sure how we'll work out what happens in the middle of the game, but there you go. Going to have to wear a mask as well. God damn.
You could always wrap yourself in saran wrap.
Yeah, that's a different kind of gathering altogether, Ken. You don't know about that kind of thing.
That's a specialist meeting. I'm not doing that one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we only do that
on a Wednesday night, is it?
Wrong stream, mate.
Yeah,
wrong stream.
Yeah. Don't do that.
You're all dirty bastards, aren't you? You really are.
We didn't say it, mate.
Yeah, you were the one that came up with
it.
No,
but I didn't think of it. Dear.
I have to also call out Kaiser, who just said, so have I got? He's asking me if I've got any big plans for my 1,000 sub milestone. And he said, maybe I should paint a French cavalryman to combine your pet hates for the viewers. And that's actually a really good idea. That's a really good idea.
Well, we haven't said congratulations to our latest big boy club, have we?
Yeah, and well done, Steve. Yeah. Well done, mate.
Steve's done it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, brush lick, mate. Brush lick.
Brush lick.
The only brush I've got's got plastic glue on it.
That's all right.
Coward.
I'm not licking this one. It's brown. You never know what that'll taste of.
I did it out of habit the other day. I was putting PVA on a base, put it in the water just to give it a quick rinse off, and I went straight in the mouth with it, didn't I? Dear. Just that habit. Oh dear. But yeah, well done, Steve. It's really good to get there. You'll get your community tab open up soon, mate. Yeah, you get your community tab open up. Yeah, it was a bit of a shock.
I don't normally check my numbers, but somebody I know had mentioned it, and I was like, oh, really? And then it was on 999. I was like, bugger, that's a bit of a It's a bit of a number, isn't it? And then
Well done.
so of course rather made up by it all.
You're coming very close, Dom. Very close.
So, Steve, ask
You're
me
not
honestly.
far.
Answer me this honestly. When you're on 99 or 999, did you seriously think about setting up another account just so you could click over to the 1,000? Because I would have done.
No, I'm too much of an honest cove for such despicable caddish behaviour like that. So no.
Oh dear. I'd say about 500 of my subs are my accounts, so it's all fine. It's all good. No, I'll get there eventually when I get there, and I joined your esteemed. I mean, you guys are all 1,000 pluses. Jeez, I don't know. What have I done wrong?
I think me and Martin are nearly at 1,500 now, aren't we?
Oh, shut up.
I think I'm just shy of 1,400 at the minute.
Yeah, I don't think I'm that far off of it. I know Martin's going to overtake me in about 2 or 3 weeks at this rate.
Am I now? That's interesting.
Yes. He's like, Haley, your colleagues are doing a great job. Keep signing them up.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Right. Yeah. Ow.
Oh, is that my first cavalryman? Yes, it is. Oh, we're here, monsieur. Done.
Would it
11 to go.
Would it shock anyone to know that I'm painting bolt action Germans tonight?
Are you?
Oh, really?
Because
that never happened.
You're not painting French Napoleonics.
No, I'm reworking my Stalingrad Germans.
You're actually doing that, yeah?
Yeah, I've done a few. I think about a third of them have been redone, but I'm giving them a nice new lick of paint, making it a bit more uniform and making the bases a bit more funky. I'm going to leave it at that.
Very nice. Very nice. At some point, I need to get around to.
I love these figures.
As well. Sorry, carry on. Nope, I've cut him off. Sorry.
Hey?
Nope.
Don't want to talk to you now.
No, because I interrupted him
Steve?
again. He won't talk to me now.
Yeah.
What were you saying, mate?
I was just going to say. Oh, I thought I'd been a rogue and over-talked Dom again. No, I'm just saying I love this. The plastic Winter German box by Warlord Games is just such a cool box to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
The miniature's just so nice.
It's a quick question. What cavalry? So 2 to a base, but what size base?
50 by 50.
50 by 50, yeah? Not
Huge.
40 by 40.
I've done 40 by 40 and 50 by 50. I just do whatever's there. It kind of serves the same thing.
I've got to be uniform. I can't be like you, Martin. I can't be just chucking any old base out here every now and then. That'd drive me nuts.
According to the
I
Black
think I've
Powder
discovered-
rules, it's 50
You'll be
by
happier.
50.
You'll be happier.
Yeah, true. I think I've discovered though. I think I'm turning into a really anal wargamer.
I can't.
I don't know
see
if it's
that,
the
Ken.
Napoleonics doing it to me or just.
I can't see
I
that.
don't know.
Ken.
It's just weird.
I can't see that. You're too blasé with your uniforms and your buttons. It's just not right.
Too blasé with my uniforms. You take the piss. I copied them like for like. What are you on? You bastard! You got me.
Wind him up. Wind him up.
I was going to say, I even went back and changed one of the coloured buttons on one of my units because one of them was a different colour.
You joking?
Every time. Should we move on to basing vehicles now, just to really get his blood pressure going?
I think give me a fucking heart attack. Jesus.
Should we have another question?
Oh yeah, that's a good point actually. I've got to paint them up. I forgot I bought the bloody French casualties.
God.
Oh, they're easy. You only got to paint half the model if they're face down or lying on their back.
Yeah, but if they're French, you've got to get a lot of them.
Ooh.
It's not very nice, is it?
Well, I'd just like to say, I had a
nice.
game before I went away. I had a game which I put up the other night on the channel of sharp practice, and my Cleveberg took place. Had a nice old fight against the Spanish, and I was let down by my French ally, who just died in droves, whereas my Bergs kept going.
Oh, you were lit. I thought. Hang on. So you had French on your side?
Yeah, I was. Well, obviously, because I was playing my Clevebergs, who are Confederacy of the Rhine, so I had to.
But Dom, but Dom, you don't play French.
I wasn't playing the French. I was playing the Germans, mate.
Oh, here we go.
Who was playing the French then?
Jonathan, my mate Jonathan. He had the Frenchies, and I had the Germans, and we played against Graham, who had the Spanish. And
yeah, but they're not really Germans, are they? They're French.
No, they're from Düsseldorf. They're Germans.
What uniform sort of style did they use, Dom?
White. Completely white.
Was it the same pattern as the same pattern as the Frenchies?
Well, if you want to get really nerdy, no, it wasn't actually. It was similar, but not quite the same.
What? Can you just open yourself up for what I heard? He can. Oh.
Yeah, this is the rabbit hole that nobody wants to go down at all.
No, we don't.
Here you go. Look, someone here's just asked a question to get about that. How big do you think this is from Battle Knights? How big do we think our channels can grow, as we're pretty niche and already niche hobby?
I think we're there, aren't we?
I think you probably are. Yeah.
You're not.
We're not far off it. I reckon 10,000 at most.
Oh, I think you'll be lucky to get 10,000. Jesus, you'll be lucky to get that.
I reckon 5 years. I reckon 10,000.
I reckon 2,000 or 3,000.
1,000, Dom. You said we'd be lucky to get 1,000.
Well, you have been bloody.
I'd be really happy to get to 2. I think.
Oh yeah, I'd be buzzing to get to 2.
I never, ever envisioned that I would ever get to 1,000. Because I don't know. I think whether you other creators in the gaming community are the same. I think if you make videos and go out and just say, right, I'm going to make a video and it's going to be all about the numbers, I think you should just walk away. That's the way I see it anyway.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, there's no point.
I just don't see it.
For fun, ain't you?
Yeah, if it stops being fun, or I don't know, I think you've got to have a certain enjoyment.
Stop. Yeah, when the fun stops, stop.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's.
No, but
I don't know how big the channel's going to get.
Really big, you've got to have fantasy. You've got a Games Workshop components in it. I think you've got to have maybe a lot more modelling. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I could see.
Yeah, but you say that, don't you? But you got niche guys that go to all the hobby shows, don't you? We're all historical gamers going to hobby shows. It's just, I don't know. Do a lot of people consume historical wargaming and think YouTube? Because obviously historical wargaming was originally based on, say, older people, wasn't it? So like people, I don't know, 40, 50 plus. Some people don't even use YouTube that are that age, you know?
I think what would be really interesting, and it'd be impossible to know exactly, but I wonder whether the sort of boom that there has been in historical channels it's really just been because of the COVID situation. And would they have happened? You know, because you look at, I don't know about you guys, I'm sure you're the same. I follow so many channels now. I mean, when I log on, and the number of videos that people have uploaded overnight, and the majority of sub 500 subs, a couple of hundred subs or what have you out there, and it's definitely that's changed things. But I honestly don't think that a channel like ours could really get huge. Not to the degree that one that's focused on Games Workshop stuff or fantasy generally, or just pure modelling. I don't think would get there.
Yeah, you'd have to seriously introduce something that was more widespread to a bigger community, and be very niche with it. It's like you see a lot of there's a modelling channel that I watch. It's got like 500, 600,000 subs, but that's because he does like scenery stuff. But you can use that for railway.
Yeah.
You can use that for wargaming. You can use it for all different bits. But it crosses everything. But yeah, niche wargame. Well, you never know. Each year there's more wargamers coming into the hobby, and they can be younger. So maybe over the years you might get a gradual increase. You can look at it that way as well, couldn't you?
But then you're going to be losing them off the other end as well, Ken. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, Paul makes a good point. He says Tabletop CP have about 5,000, and that's pure wargaming, historical primarily. He does a little bit of fantasy.
Yeah.
I love that channel. There's those mad Norwegian guys who did a lot of bolt action. They seem to have moved on to other things now, but they what are they called?
Yeah, Tabletop Battle. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've got 7,000 or 8,000 subs.
Yeah,
something like
Tabletop
that.
Battle. Yeah.
So it's doable. It is doable.
That's the other thing as well, is people come to you because you're a specific type of content. Like for Ste, they come to him for bolt action. But there might come a point where Ste goes, do you know what? I really don't want to do bolt action for the next year because I've had enough of it.
Yeah.
You know, he might want to do something different, and then you see if people follow you because of the content you make, or it's the subject matter, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I find, though, it's weird. Yeah, the amount of people who contact me through social media, like Facebook or Instagram, 9 times out of 10, the conversation will be about bolt action and or kit bashing.
You are
I get quite a few.
You are very good at kit bashing.
I get quite a few. I had to apologise to some bloke on Instagram because he on Instagram you get so many. I get so many private messages, but it's all about support my Kickstarter or visit this page, do that. So I largely ignore them. I just scan them very quickly. And some bloke actually he asked me a genuine question about kit bashing, and I ignored it for 3 months because, and I felt absolutely terrible. So I had to go back and read it. When someone takes the time to contact you in that way, then the least you can do is respond and tell you about it. And I didn't, and I felt really bad about it. But it is nice when people who they know you for a certain thing, and the weird things like they call me Ste. I don't know these people, but they know me from because Ken. Somebody left a comment on my Instagram about basing, and he mentioned about me, and you discussed it on the stream. So word gets out. I think that's for me. That's one of the best parts about the community is just engaging with people about certain subjects. So no, I really like it.
But here's the question:
warfare. Go on.
If you get up to 10k subs, someone's raised this point in the comments on mine. That's a lot more work.
Yeah.
And do you want to do that? I mean, we all have jobs, and do you really want to do that? I mean, I've always said, and I said to you guys, I do not want this to become a chore. I do it because I've enjoyed doing it, and I like sharing what I do with people, and chatting with you guys. If it starts becoming like the pressure starts building to do stuff, I'm not sure I'd want to do it anymore.
But would
that's not why I did
chore?
it.
Because if you're doing it, I mean, if we're just sort of effectively following what we do as a hobby, and because we love it, and it just happens to get to 10,000, there's not really any more pressure. I wouldn't have thought. If it became a job,
it's more a fact if you do.
Yeah. If you decided to chuck it all in, and there's a guy, what's his name? Is it Black Dragon or someone like that? He's just literally just given up his job to run his painting channel. That's pressure, right? That's pressure because he's got a business plan. He reckons he's got a year to make it or not, and he's going to have to make a living out of it.
I suppose. Yeah.
But if you're just like I do, I film the games I've played. I film the crappy figures I painted, and I stick them up, and it's a bit of a laugh, and I have fun doing this and what have you. It's not work, is it? It's not hard work.
I think it's weird for me because I feel like it. I feel like I want this to one day be a job. I would like it. I would. That'd be awesome.
We'd love to make money out of it.
I couldn't think of anything better.
It would.
I couldn't think of anything better to do. It's a dream, isn't it? You never know that one video that you do might cause it to turn into a job, because that's all it takes. Is YouTube to go, I like you, and then your video takes off, and then all of a sudden, bang, you've got 50,000-60,000 subs.
It's hard these days to make money out of YouTube purely. You have to do so much more. You have to do merch, affiliates, and all sorts of stuff and that becomes a job, and that is hard work. I used to know a lot of guys who ran channels for online video games and stuff like that, and they just used to talk about how difficult it was just to make a living out of it. Initially it was dead easy. You had to have, so many subs, you did your advertising, and you made money, a lot of money in some cases. And then over time it dropped down, less and less money was available, and it sounded like it was harder than a proper job, if you ask me, a lot of the time. But
yeah.
I mean, HM says
I'd be tempted.
He thinks it's not a competition; it's all about the hobby, and I think that's right. That's exactly right, mate.
I'd say what would be cool is if you ever got the opportunity to open a shop or something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I did think about that once. I did
someone's just
investigate
said in
with
here,
Warlords, and actually contacted them about buying what you needed to buy stock, and they sent me all the price lists and what have you. It's actually surprisingly easy to do, and it's actually you can get quite a good discount as a retailer. You have to buy a certain amount, and then I was thinking I could sell it. And
you can get a good discount. I've seen that discount.
It's a lot of kit. It's a lot of investment in it. But hey, sorry, Martin, cut you off.
Yeah.
Someone's said that they've seen that you can buy subs, but people do that to inflate their channels. But
you can what?
Yeah, that is a thing. But
yeah, you can.
You can buy subs, but obviously, you can. Yeah, you can do that. But obviously, you said before, Ken, that that just you suddenly see that you look at one video's only get, for example, say 300 views, but this person's got 70 all of a sudden. Then
Yeah, I agree. Well, modelling for advantage, Kaiser, he says, I think it comes down to the content. I think people come for the content but stay for the personalities, and he thinks viewing figures are far more important than subs. I agree, absolutely agreed.
Yeah. I'd rather have the same people come back and enjoy everything and make a bond, like a sort of like a understanding relationship on here. Much nicer sort of thing. We'll have to get Kaiser on here. You have to come on here.
Yeah, Kaiser, you'll definitely
There's an
have to come
invite.
on.
You and Johnny B, get on here.
Oh, we're not having Johnny B. He'll come in his pants. We're not having that.
Dom,
yes,
if
mate.
I've got a question for you, if you've got a second. I don't know if you. It's not rude. So, Dom, he said he's been looking at doing Bavarians when the new Vitrix set.
Oh yeah.
Often he wanted to do them, but now he's worried. It's going to be like trying to do a Hanoverian army, because normally you'd have them with the British. Should he be doing a Confederacy of the Rhine army to do Bavarians?
Well, actually, you could do a Bavarian army quite nicely, because it does change sides towards the end of the Napoleonic Wars. So, although it starts out as allied to the French, it does swap sides. In about 1814, I think, it changes sides and then fights against the French. In fact, it has... Was it even the 1813 campaign? I think he actually the Bavarian army has the indignity of being smashed by a French corps at one point. So yeah, theoretically, if you're not too worried about the army not looking absolutely button crisp on different periods, which I don't care either, you could have it that fight different sides. So no, I wouldn't. I'd go for a Bavarian if you like. I always think if you like the look of the army, you like the history of the army, go for it. Doesn't matter what side it's on.
Sweet. They've got me interested now, because listen to that book that the King of Sweden was one of Napoleon's marshals, wasn't it?
Yeah,
made him a marshal.
Yeah.
But he said,
Bernadotte.
Yeah, that's it. And he said, if I didn't want to, no, when he took over being the King of Sweden, he said he'd put the Swedish interest first above everything else, didn't he? So he then joined the Allied, didn't he? So
do you know the story about Bernadotte? Because he was a pauper's son or something. I can't remember his backstory exactly, but he was fanatical Republican. He had a tattoo on him that said "Death to Tyrants," and then he became King of Sweden. How ironic is that? And actually, the Swedish royal family can still trace their line to Bernadotte. There you go. I love the Swedish army in the Napoleonic period. That's an army I am going to do at some point. Definitely going to do. That's why I've got this disc here that tells you all about it. Because one day, that's coming. And the trouble is you can only get metal figures, which is a bit of a bummer. It's going to be expensive.
I'm getting I would like an 1815 metal French, because I've seen, obviously, our friends over at... oh, my God. offensive miniatures. I always get that one mixed up. The offensive miniatures, they do like 1807 to 1812 sort of figures. I've got a couple in my French, but it would be nice to maybe I could do some kit bashing. But if I'm paying 40 quid for a battalion of 36, I would quite like to have the actual minis whole. Maybe would be nice. There's quite a bit out there, isn't there? But I'll try to find some more stuff.
You will. I think those Victrix Bavarians
Kaiser's...
your mate was talking about, I think they are really looking to come out. I think they should have been out this month, but I think they're coming out next month now, which is a shame. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
That's right. A couple of people said in response to this, got some chat going on this, is great. Kaiser says, it's like your channel, Dom, I'm never going to play French-Indian Wars,
cool
but
stuff.
I'm happy to watch beer rolling, having a beer, watching the dice being rolled in the garden. Yeah, you're right. And Leslie asked the question, do you think that Travis from Tabletop CP has a job, or does he just do YouTube? I think he's mentioned he's got a job. I think he does.
No, he's from what I believe, from his Facebook profile, I think he works. He's a I'll put my teeth back in. A hydrographer.
Okay.
I have no idea what that is. What is that?
Things to do with water.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Hydro.
There we go. Oh, and
Paul
says the Bavarian army also fought against the Austrians in 1809. So there you go, another option. There you go. See,
yeah, because the Austrians they were worried about the Austrians as well, wasn't it? So the Austrians switched sides as well. Everyone switched bloody sides, didn't they?
Apart from the Brits. We established this last week, or was it No, when I was last on, we established this because I said the Russians and the British never changed sides, but actually someone pointed out the Russians did at one point. So it was just the British who didn't, because they just hated the French. Oh, we lost Martin again.
Nope.
Amy? Who's Amy? Haley's.
Amy's poured a beer on his keyboard or something. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, I've told the Kaiser Kaiser said he'd love to come on. I've told him to email that Plastic Crack podcast email. Might as well say that now. There's a new email that I'm going to stick on the Miniature Wargaming Warriors Facebook page, and we'll put it in like show notes and stuff. But I've set up an email for any stuff you want to send in to do to the Plastic Crack podcast, just in case Dom's not here and not able to pick it up. The email's the plasticcrackpodcast@gmail.com. So if you've got anything you want to send in to any of us, say how good Martin's Carthaginians are going to be when he finally gets them done.
Look, look, I've got 4 bloody big bases of them right here. Hang on, look. I'm going to look at that windowsill. Look, they're all Carthaginians.
It's not really a month's work though, is it, lads? Let's be honest. That's like, what, 3 or 4 days?
Afternoon, isn't it?
A month's work.
You said Ancients October. You put the challenge out there.
I know,
sir.
I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it. I'm just trying to get everything together quite quickly.
How many days have we got until October?
1.
Oh, was it 1? Oh, 2 days.
It's nearly all done. I'm just right now. I'm green stuffing cloaks onto my Carthaginian veterans. So that's all I've got to do, and then I'm good to go. So,
what do we think, chat? What do we think? Do you think Martin's going to do it? Do you think he's going to pull it off?
Yeah,
he's going to get it all done.
It's a tough question.
I'm going to try and get as many Napoleonic stuff done as I can within the month. It should be interesting.
Kaiser says, by the way, on note of danger of watching streams, since you've started, I've bought a new bolt action army, the Waterloo starter set, and some Victrix Carthaginians. I'll never get it all done.
I saw them doing the Victrix Carthaginians. I watched their unboxing.
Yeah, I did.
My favourite explanation of what of Hannibal's campaigns against Rome is by Johnny Beers. He punched Rome in the dick.
Yes.
That's got to be my favourite. Undoubtedly, my favourite military assessment of what Hannibal did. It's
Why
undoubted.
why is
what
there no
those guys do
wargaming
over
shows
there.
so we
It's
can all meet
brilliant.
up for a beer? It's so annoying.
That's brilliant.
Wargaming shows need to happen because we need to all meet up for a drink.
A lot of
Oh,
They
drinking.
do,
God.
they do. You see, now I've got Miller having a go because he said I need to get the Carthaginians done so I can get on with the English Civil War. It's his fault
Yeah.
that these aren't stuck together yet.
But when it, am I
mean,
right in
it was a
saying
low.
you also set yourself a challenge for November to be
No, I haven't.
English Civil War November?
No, I haven't. I haven't
That's
done
what I
that.
had. That's what I had.
I heard that. I have not. I never said that.
If you think Martin should do that in chat, go on, get on his chat on his thing and
commit
see if
him
he
to
should
it.
do that for November.
Yep, that's it. Good idea.
I remember I think I mentioned about working on only French stuff during October.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was it.
I think I might have changed my mind over that because I've got plans for another bolt action project.
What are
Germans?
you doing now?
No. British.
Oh,
God.
I found
Not
a
with that
bunch
bloody
of
kit.
my very. No. Well, no. My very first bolt action army was British, but I've never used it. It's been put away in a box somewhere because it's so crap looking. But there are some nice bits in there that I do like. So I've got a couple of metal kits are really nice. I've got a couple of vehicles, a tank, artillery.
You got the Red Devil. You got the Red Devils kit, have you?
No, what I'm thinking of doing is picking up a couple. No, have you seen the late war winter British infantry from Warlord? They've got the great coats and stuff on.
No.
I was thinking of using them. And
well, that sounds.
yeah,
good.
they do. I think they came out last year, maybe last year, the year before. And the metal miniatures.
Oh, the
No,
metal. Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is a bit strange for me. But until they change that infantry box, I'm not putting myself through that again because
No, it was a horrible box.
It was horrific, absolutely horrific. Nothing.
Lined up.
I don't count myself as a sort of an amateur modeler. I like to think I can put those certain, most kits together. But that tried my soul. That really did. And when you compare it to the newer kits, they look. The arms are so much thinner than the new ones. You can't really use them for anything else. So no, I refuse to. Until they bring out some plastic British, I'm thinking of just doing a sort of small late war British with these late war guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind British Expeditionary Force. I know they do metal, but
Yeah, that
plastics would be nice for that.
that's what I voted for in the.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it,
that plastic French. So whatever.
I went for plastic fins as well. Like thinking about them, I like the fins.
Yeah. My mate's currently he's planning a finish arm at the moment. He's going to be using a combination of the winter Soviet and German boxes for the greatcoats.
Yep.
Okay.
Should be interesting to see how it works out.
I was looking.
Yeah,
I'd love to do. I would love to do a late British War Army using. Is it Empress miniatures? They do some beautiful late British, but they're all metal.
Yes.
They're all metal and they're bloody expensive, probably.
They are.
They're good. They're good for the money. Don't get me wrong.
They're beautiful figures and they're worth the money. But it's just doing a large army. But I guess if it was a late war one, you could make it all veteran, and then it wouldn't cost so much. But I don't know.
This is true.
I
But
haven't
then
played
it's
much bolt action for a while, so I'm not going to do another army. Because I've
No.
still got a Hungarian one to go. I've got a Desert Rats game one to do.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, you had your Hungarian cavalry, didn't you?
Yeah, I've done the cavalry. I have. It was that one I had from a Kickstarter, which took forever to arrive. And meanwhile, I went and bought another load of Hungarians that I did for winter period. So I've got the other ones, which I'm going to do this summer at some point. But yeah, I don't know.
At some point.
Too many other things to do at the moment. I'm doing my Napoleonics, and then I want to get on to. Actually, Paul's just made a point about, which made me think about. Have you all got that War Games Illustrated with the samurai figure on the front? I know Martin.
No, because I've already got loads of those sprues.
Oh, okay. I know you're a veteran samurai painter modeler, but I'm really fast. I've never ever made samurais. Never painted them. Never played with them, and I'm really tempted just to have a play with that.
Yeah,
the whole sprue, is it?
Yeah, you get Ashiguri on it, and
4 or 5 figures, is it? Something like that.
Yeah, it is. It's the set that came in Test of Honor.
Right.
Right.
So when I bought Test of Honor, I've got loads of them. So yeah, it's a nice set. I mean, they're quite. I don't like bash them. Like as far as samurai models go, then they're not super detailed in my opinion, but they are nice. You know, if you want to just paint something a bit different, then yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
I saw. I don't know whether you watch TP, who does some battle reports with his son, Charlie. He must get more views. He really should publicise what he does. He's only got like 100 subs, but does some immense Napoleonic games using what is it, General Darmé rules and what have you. But he also did the other week.
Yes.
He put a battle report of a samurai battle. 2 samurai armies going at each other using, I think it was pike and shot rules he used for it, the black powder variant, and it was just visually stunning. I mean, you know, blocks of asaguro and samurai and mounted samurai and warrior monks and all sorts of things. It just looked absolutely stunning. He really should get so many more subs.
Yeah, if I was ever going to do another 6mm army, I'd probably do say another, or just do a 6mm army. It would probably be samurai. So I think that would look really cool. 6mm, 10mm.
Backers do some really nice samurai at 6mm. They do some nice. They do some nice stuff.
I was looking at Bacchus 6mm Napoleonics yesterday.
I have Is no store open again.
I have no reason for this. I was just bored.
Oh dear.
And I was looking at.
Yeah, but that's the worst thing to do, though, isn't it?
I know. No, because the other night, it was Friday night. I was having a chat with Ian, my mate, who I game with. We're both in the agreement that we like the black powder era. But we'll probably never ever both have painted 28mm armies. I think let's have a bit of a chat with reality here. That's not going to happen. So if we could do it in probably 10 or 6mm, I think I could probably paint a 10 or 6mm Napoleonic army in over a long weekend or something. That might be the way to go for us.
That's what I said about ACW, didn't I?
Yeah. How's that project
that's
going?
what I'm doing.
Have you started?
That's next month's.
Have you started that yet?
No, that's next month's
challenge.
Right,
okay.
I've got it planned. Don't worry.
I would love.
I'm really looking forward
tempted to buy a whole load of Napoleonic 6mm just because I'd love to do really big core level engagements. But
yeah, it would be cool, wouldn't it, Dom?
It would look spectacular. But just the thought, I've got so many bloody 28mm to paint, and I've got all the 15mm in the cupboard I really need to get out and rebase. So it just thought, not going to do it.
I'm depending on how quick I get these ACW done. Honest to God, if I get them done, if I get both of those armies done within that month, I'm not joking. I'm definitely going to go the 6mm for, like you were saying, Dom, Napoleonic route for doing big ass battle. Huge, like definitely going to do it.
If you can find a really decent rule set that's really good for that kind of level engagement.
You can use black powder. You can use black powder.
Yeah, I love black powder very much, but I don't know whether I'd want to do core level engagements. I think I think it's too lightweight. If I don't mean that in the nasty way, but it's just the fact that like we saw with Martin's wonderful dicing. You can get whole periods where just nothing happens because you just roll crap.
Yeah. Oh no, Rick Priestley's. He did do an updated rule set for it for 6mm.
Oh, did he? Okay.
He's done an update. Yeah, he's done it. Yeah, he's done a 6mm updated rule set for it.
I stand corrected. Then maybe it would be fun. I do like black powder.
I'll send you a link to it.
Okay, that'd be good.
That would definitely interest me. That it really would.
Because it is a good
I'll send it to you as well, Steve. I'll send you a link.
Yeah. I think it would be fun to do that. I think to have, to fight something like Leipzig in 6mm. I mean, just be absolutely amazing. Or Salamanca, or I don't know, any of those classic battles. Obviously, Waterloo would be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to see.
I think I want to try 6mm again because it defeated me years ago. I actually had a huge Napoleonic 6mm French army, and I think I painted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 16 bases, and thought better of it. So I'd like to revisit that from a kind of a kind of painting pride point of view. I don't like being defeated by certain miniatures. So I think with the current mindset, and I paint differently these days, I think I could really get through them.
I've got my lollipop sticks ready to go just under here. Where are they? They're here somewhere.
Yeah, I've got mine down there.
That might be good. What was I can't remember who said it was, but wasn't there a question about a rule to get rid of or something in the game?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, just before you do that one, just Kaiser's just saying, he said you need to play something like Shaco for that, but he's also now saying he's got to go because he's got to get to bed, so he's off. So night, Kaiser.
Right,
See you later, mate.
Anyway, sorry, Steve.
Oh yeah, so this came up because on the channel recently, over the past 6 or 7 weeks or so, I've been doing the Bolt Action Basics series, which is just very short videos, just giving a really basic overview of certain mechanics from games of Bolt Action. So I've been reading the rules quite a bit because you don't want to give out crap information on a video like that. Mm-hmm. I haven't played Bolt Action for a while, but it got me thinking about. We've all got our favourite rule set. Now, is there any one rule, be it large or small, that you would change in that rule set?
I think the one that Dom said for Black Powder, I'd agree with. The artillery isn't hugely effective in Black Powder. So I said we've sort of gone with a house rule idea of making units that are hit by artillery take a break test, but getting rid of giving a modifier, so only if they roll snake eyes do they actually run, to actually give them a bit more of effect. Because currently at the moment all it does is at long range inflict one casualty who effectively can't save. That's it.
Yeah, I
don't. So it doesn't have the effect that you'd.
It doesn't have the psychological effect.
Yeah, if you read the period, a unit being under sustained artillery fire for a period of time, they turn and run. Or they die where they stand, basically. And you don't really get that in Black Powder. As Martin said, you may get one casualty and maybe, if you're lucky, a disorder on a unit, and that's about it. I mean, it gets even worse when you go up to something like ACW, and we played a 15mm American Civil War game the other week using Black Powder, and the artillery was just irrelevant. It just did nothing.
Couldn't you say as a rule, because obviously you've got to move your brigade, haven't you? Mm-hmm. Well, couldn't you say that if that brigade came under artillery fire the previous turn, they've got a -1 on their order roll, so they've got to roll an 8. You can make it 7.
Well, the only problem with that is then you get the situation where they're just sort of stuck under artillery fire, and then they don't do anything, and they just get blown. So it's a balance, right? So you don't want to make artillery so overly powerful they'll just destroy everything, or cripple everything you've got. I don't know. I like Martin's idea of the morale check. Sorry. I think that's kind of an interesting option. But I think, I don't know, taking something off their command roll.
Well, there's the other rule it could add, because troops can be wavering, isn't it? There's a special. Hang on, I can't remember what waver, but it could be to add. Hang on a second, I've got it right here. Wavering, take a break test when you take a casualty. So instead of waiting until you hit your stamina limit, you have to take a break test as soon as you take a casualty.
Right.
So you could almost put it on them like a condition. So if so the next
every time they're hit by if they're hit by artillery, they've got to take a break test, basically.
Well, no, the next time they take a casualty, they would take. So they've taken one casualty, so that now the unit is wavering, which means the next casualty it takes, they take a break test, regardless of whether or not they've taken the casualty or not from the artillery. So if you get hit by artillery, your unit becomes wavering till the end of your next turn, or something like that, or the end of the next enemy turn. So if they take a single casualty from anything, then they have to take a break test.
What was the difference in Black Powder 1 to compared to 2 for artillery? Was there much of a difference?
No,
nothing.
No, it's still the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, a variant of that, Martin, you could do, say you took 2 successive turns worth of hits from artillery.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just it wasn't anything else, it was just artillery. That would be interesting. Say a unit got hit one turn, lost a casualty, then second turn lost another casualty, then they have to do a break test. I think that would give you something a bit more worthwhile and wouldn't overbalance artillery.
Yeah, I think that's one. I have one for a game system which isn't my favourite system, but it's a rule that I don't like, if that counts.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So, but I know that Dom's the only other person that plays Saga, so I dislike not having multiple combats. It annoys me. The units, basically, you fight a combat. You move a unit, you activate a unit, it moves into melee. You fight in melee, and then regardless of who wins or loses, they will part. And then you activate another unit. So you can't ever charge with 2 units. You never have a continued combat that goes into the next round. They just bounce off, which does reflect, I suppose, Dark Age warfare a bit. You don't have that shield wall locking together and not giving, which was another thing about the Hannibal thing, which when you've got Greek phalanxes, they don't just kind of bounce off each other.
It's a fair point.
So I was wondering,
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. But somehow it doesn't bother me too much with Saga, because I think Saga, the games I've played with it, I'm not a veteran of it by any means, so I wouldn't claim to be an expert on it. But I have played a few games, and I think one of the things always seems to happen in that system is that you kind of you focus on one maybe 2 units in your army for a period of time. So you'll use all, because of the way the dice system works, because of the way you're activating things, but also using for the special abilities. You rarely move your entire army, or even do something with every unit in your army. So you tend to, it'd be like your Huskar unit will suddenly scream across, do 3 moves up the table, mash into an enemy unit, fight it, and that'll be your turnover. So it sort of doesn't bother me too much that it's only one. I can see what you mean, though. I mean, not having multiple combats.
What army have you got?
I've got various Viking type armies. I've got Crusader army, I think.
Because with the Vikings, they get that ability that lets them activate every single model in their army in one go, but you can't swarm the enemy because you bounce off.
But also, the reality is, if you don't go in with all their special abilities, you're unlikely to have a decisive win. So, as the way the guys at my club told me how to play it, was that you're better off focusing, on just 1 or 2 units a turn to really make damage. So that when you go in with that herd unit, you're using the different bonuses that you can use to maximize its impact.
Well, I'll tell you where it came up that we thought it was a bit, because we play it quite a lot, and I'll tell you where it came up, where we it never really, we've kind of gone, you can't, because in the old system you could do multiple combats in the first edition. If you Warlord charge and he shouted follow me, then 1 unit could go with him.
Okay.
You can't do that now. It was what one of us was using the Irish, and he charged with his hounds.
Yep.
And then they just kind of bounced off, and we're like, just thinking about the dogs, we just wanted that continual kind of, action. It's still a great system. I really, really like Saga, but that's just my niggle.
Got you.
And I know the guys I play with kind of think that's just that. But then I suppose there's always a way to you can always house rule it, I suppose, somehow.
I'll tell you what, it annoys me more though when you're playing supposedly a proper war game, you know, more historically accurate, where they insist on only single fighting, you know, where you can't charge multiple units together. That annoys me even more though, because it feels wrong. And I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but things like DBA and DBM where you have to have
Black
just
powder,
one...
you can't charge, can you?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you can. Yeah.
Well, you can, but you can in Black Powder.
But the secondary unit doesn't actually fight, does it? It just supports.
Yeah, it's a 50% in it. It doesn't. You couldn't do multiple, like 3 battalions versus 1 because it's all based on the frontage, isn't it?
Well, no, you can get one in on the side. You can charge on the side. Yeah, you just didn't get round my side.
I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
that changes everything. That changes everything. When
the units line up,
that's completely. Sir, I demand a rematch.
That's fine. That's fine. So the frontages can go on, and they line up, and you can have 2 small units fighting like one standard unit if their frontages don't max out. So that's not a problem. But if you
he tells me that now. Jesus,
that was it. You saying right? That makes the game void.
Brilliant, love it. Oh, we got Wargamer Spud is in the house. Hiya, mate. How you doing? Good to see you, buddy.
How do?
Blimey. Yeah, I know what you mean. Though there's something about that. There are. I know what you mean. There are certain rules where they do insist you line up, and that does feel a bit wrong somehow. As I said, it's never been a big thing for me on Saga, but I can see where you're coming from for sure.
Someone said that they'd like hand-to-hand combat redone in bolt action. Solvent Abuse says that he's not a fan of it in bolt action, hand-to-hand.
Very simplistic. Yeah. There's no grenades.
It's all or nothing.
Absolutely
isn't it?
brutal as well. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, and sometimes you get those situations where your crack section of SS go up against three crew for a piece of artillery, and if you roll badly, there's a good chance that they're gonna win. So no, I can certainly understand why that would be a bit disconcerting. The rule I wanted to change was bolt action, but I think I've mentioned this quite a few times before, and it's medium machine guns.
Oh yes, definitely. What would you do? I think we talked about this some time ago, but what would you do, Steve, with mediums?
I'd add more shots.
Yeah,
and multiple pin markers. I just don't think there's enough firepower there, and only applying one pin marker to a unit you hit. I just don't think it's effective enough. I mean, if you're going to use medium machine guns, properly, like in chain of command. I mean, in chain of command, you can shut down an entire part of the battlefield just by positioning one medium machine gun in a good place.
Yeah,
because if that fires and hits, there's going to be carnage. Whereas in bolt action medium machine guns, to a degree, they're still dangerous, sort of. I just don't think they're as deadly as they should be.
No.
Yeah.
For Germans.
I tend to agree. I think in certain circumstances they should be. I mean, if you ran out on the open in front of a medium machine gun, you should just die. I mean, but you rarely do bolt action. But I think also they're. You look at the German army doctrine. It was about suppression fire more than anything else with medium machine guns.
Yes.
They used them to keep people's heads down.
It was based around the medium machine gun.
Yeah. And it was about keeping the defenders' heads down and what have you. And again, that isn't really reflected in the rules at all and the way they play. So
no.
Plus, I think the point system for them is just pathetic. I mean, 50 points for a 50 points for a medium regular machine gun is just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, but it's cheaper to get a German bike. In it, Dom. You were saying.
Yeah, well, that's usually
medium machine gun on it.
You can have a medium machine gun mounted on a bike system, sidecar, for less points, or you can make it veteran for the same amount of points, and it's 1,000,000 times more effective. Plus, it can wreck you away if it gets shot at. It's like, well, what the hell?
So I think I've mentioned before what I normally do is just add 2 LMGs to every infantry section. So I'd rather spend the points on additional light machine guns.
Yeah.
in the infantry sections, and cores a lot more mobile. You know, you can use them as in both attack and defense. So that's where I go. But yeah, if they did change that, for me, I mean, I think everyone knows how much of a bolt action fanboy I really am. There's not an awful lot in there that I gripe about, but yeah, medium machine guns, just something that I just think could be that bit more dangerous.
I agree with you. What about the nightmare of Tiger Fear? What do you reckon to that? Because they modified that recently with an FAQ, which got a lot of people very, very annoyed.
To be fair, we don't use it.
Oh, okay, cool. So do you repoint the German troops then? Because their tanks are considerably more expensive than everyone else's.
Not really. No, we just. I mean, I wanted to get rid of the turret jam rule as well.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
But I couldn't convince. I couldn't convince Ian. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. It's so, for me, it feels so out of place that you can just jam a turret like really, really easily.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't know where that came from, but it's not. It's again, that's a rule that I don't particularly like. I don't particularly enjoy.
No, I agree. I'm like you. I think bolt action's
one I'd add
system I really like, but those two do annoy me. Sorry, Ken.
Yeah, that's right. I've got one I would add. The ability to use grenades in bolt action. Really annoys me that you can't use a grenade to clear a house. Really is quite frustrating.
I think I remember reading an interview with Alessio when he was talking about why grenades aren't included. But for the life of me, it was years ago, and I can't really remember the exact reason why. Because you can use grenades in chain of command, can't you?
Yeah, you can. And I would, you don't get a lot of them, but they're part of the warfare. I'd like to use them. Well, part of it, innit? But yeah, I'd definitely put grenades into bolt action. Playing bolt black powder the other day. There is one rule I'd like to change.
What's that?
I found it a bit weird how that artillery literally just ran when it was catched by cavalry. I did find that a bit strange.
That's because they wouldn't stand and fight. You got a whole load of horses running at you. They'd just leg it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't come back. That's it. They just, what are they going to do? They were like five guys in the cannon.
Are they abandoned the cannon then completely?
Yep. Run.
Yeah. They just go.
Oh right, okay.
I mean, they fought. They only run if you have to take all results for a break test on a cannon for hand-to-hand combat. It basically, if your unit has to take a break test, is fail. In hand-to-hand combat. Yeah.
I think you should get a chance with 666. What's the point of taking the break test roll?
Yeah, but they wouldn't. Would they fail on that? Hang on a minute.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they failed on every roll.
I can't remember. They probably do. Well, the thing is, you've lost enough. They don't have a high enough stamina value. If half the crew are dead, they're not going to be firing the cannon anyway. Yeah, they break. Basically, yeah. If a cannon has to take a break test, then they go.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. But then, to be fair, if you've let cavalry get up to your cannons, then you've done something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but then
Look
at
at that little snidey comment.
That's a little snidey comment, wasn't it? I like that.
Especially if it's the old guard.
I guess there is a little bit of historical precedent there, though. Just playing the devil's advocate for Ken's behalf there. So you think of the Scots Greys charged through Waterloo, got to the Grand Battery, started sabring them all, not sabring them, sabring them all, killing them all off. Most of them ran away, but they did come back after the Scots Greys withdrew and started to fire again.
Or maybe get an opportunity to do a roll to come back if you're at the edge of the table edge. If you can clear the, maybe that will convince a cannon to. There you go. There's a good rule. If you want a cannon to stay at long range, like within the table edge, like 6 inches or whatever the full retire is, Okay, if it's charged by cavalry, it goes off the table edge. And then on the next turn, it's got a chance to come back, right? And if it fails the roll, then it doesn't come back.
But I'd say that's not only if you didn't suffer any casualties.
Yeah,
because they can't come back if they're dead.
Yeah.
I mean, reality is most gunners would run like hell the moment they saw cavalry coming anywhere close to them. The infantry formed a square because it gave them some degree of protection psychologically more than anything else. But the gunners,
think about the Waterloo film when Ney charges and they all leg it from the cannons to the squares.
Yeah,
and then the cavalry just ride straight past.
Because I can't remember. There's a game system where that you can do that as the British gunners, if they're close to a square, can actually run and be deemed to have got into the square and then reman their guns afterwards. But I can't remember what's rule system.
There's a thing in there in Pike and Shot for the hedgehogs, isn't there? That's similar to that.
Yeah, pikemen protect musketeers for that, which is kind
of. Come on, you should be doing ancients.
I know, but I can't. I'm not just going to sit there reading ancients out.
Ancients month, mate. It's like Ancients month.
You've got someone. It's not September. It's not October yet.
There they go again.
I don't know, chat. Do we let him off with this? Do we let him off?
I will show you everything I've stuck together tonight at the end. I'll show you that. It's all right. You got damages on your side. He said he watched the battle report and he didn't expect me to roll so effing bad. Neither did I. I didn't do it on purpose.
It's not cut. It's not edited like that.
No, it'll.
It was just hey. You could feel the salt in the air. To be fair, it's quite funny.
Do you know what? I'm gonna find it. Someone put up a really funny comment about you, and I've forgotten to read it out. I'm gonna find it.
Here he goes. Got to get one back, any.
I know, but it was actually really funny. So someone said that there's going to be a future video. This is Duncan FX said there's going to be a future video of Ken burning all his Napoleonics when GW announced Age of Napoleon. That'll get him up to 10k easily on the subs.
I like that. That's great. Oh, jeez. Has Hayley forgiven you yet for killing her 95th, Martin?
Well, no. She said she wanted to. No, basically, yeah, he's right. No, she hasn't. I'm not even. There's no.
That was the best moment of the entire video of her face.
Hayley's head popping through the door,
and the look of.
Well, you only just caught it before it cut. Because she was in the other room with my daughter, and then I think she heard Ken's sort of victory warble or whatever it was, and and then she just went, "You bloody what?" And then she stuck her head through. So I thought I'd turn the camera on.
That was the best moment.
That was pretty funny.
Video. It made me laugh so much.
It was as soon as I heard the 95th have gone, that was like the best thing in the world. I was like, I don't care if I win now. I've done what I've come to do.
I said to you right before the game as well, like, I don't know, they better do something, no, I don't.
No. Sharp was not having it, was he? He was too ready caressing lady friends.
But Martin, it didn't matter. You killed the old guard. You made them run away, so it didn't matter.
I think we should promote the Hanoverian victory over the old guard a bit more, since the Hanoverians have got like nothing in the way of special rules.
I think they were masterful. Masterful. I do like the
apart from the ones who got rocketed in the back by their own side twice and then ran off. Those ones were quite.
Do you know? I nearly bought myself a rocket battery based on that battle report because I just thought that just looked so fun. They were just hilarious.
He asked me. He just said to me, "So why have you put it in?" And I went, "Well, it was for the laugh, but I didn't actually think that was going to happen."
That was masterful. Those poor Hanoverians.
Pretty funny.
They fought off everything that comes at them, and then they get a rocket in the back, and it's like they run.
That's it. Well, yeah, but it's the second rocket. That was the thing. It was they already got rocketed once. They've sent a runner over going, "Oi,
steady boys,
check your aim." And then the other one, they fight off the Italians. Combat lasted half the game, and then
the Italians were the unsung heroes for the French. They did not want to break, did they?
No. French, you see, that's it. There you go.
Swiss didn't do too well, did they? They came down the road, got shot, and then just kind of stayed there for the whole game.
Whole game. Literally the whole game. They didn't move. I was like, come on!
Well, at least they were just the Swiss. I couldn't get the Coldstream Guards moving until, like, the 3/4 of the way through the battle because of the bloody 95th being in the way. That was actually when they died. It did me a favour because it got them out of the way.
Yeah, that was quite funny.
Oh dear God!
I can't wait for a game.
Yeah. Well, we'll do another one. You can be the French again. I'm not going to take the 95th. I'm going to take the very big unit of Jaegers I've got for the Hanoverians and see how they do.
You have to play the 95th then for skirmishes if you're British.
No.
Well, that was but that's the sort of the skirmishing unit, the rifle unit, anyway. There's 60th rifles, isn't there? And
there is the 60th.
There's a couple of other rifle units.
The King's German Legion had some rifle units as well. So
yeah, they were the ones in the Hayson. That's what my Jaegers are based on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, one of my battalions is based attacking La Haye-Sainte. What one was it? I can't remember now, but I know I picked one that's done it, and I've got a light battalion as well. Blue trousers, steady on, steady on. Some blue trousers instead of white.
You're not going to mix a white. Do you know what? When you bring your battalion here, I've never done this before, but if I would be tempted just when you're not looking to get and just paint some like different coloured trousers on one model in your battalion when you go to Lille or something. just.
They have to be uniform and they have to be correct.
I love it.
See, now I'm getting questions here. Someone said to me, Bill Roy says, why did I put the 95th on the road in the first place? Because my plan was that that I thought everyone always puts like the elite units in the middle. So I'm going to put my entire elite brigade on that side and they're going to deal with psychological objective. It was also because I was slightly constrained by my deployment. But I kind of put them there and thought, oh, they're reliable. They're on a road. It's 9 or 10 or less or something. There you go. And that wasn't to be. At all.
Proof. It was pretty funny.
The curse of elite troops.
There you go. Bad leadership is why I put them on the road. There you go.
Yeah, because you even debated yourself. Oh, I could stick them over there just in case, but you went, nah.
No, they'll move. No, move.
No, the Gulfstream did not want to move.
Steve, do you have any units like Martin's Bête Noire there of the 95th? That even when he gets to play them, he can't. They don't perform for him. When he's shooting against them, he gets killed. And when they're on his side, he gets them killed.
I'm trying to think. Sometimes if I play as my US Marines, there's always one unit that gets snotted. I mean, completely and utterly annihilated.
Yeah.
It's no specific unit. It's just that whenever I play my Marines, I also have to say, right, sorry guys, but one of you, and I'm not quite sure who it is going to be in for a really rough time over the next 3 hours, because something pretty terrible is going to befall you. So brace yourselves. But no, I've been quite lucky in that front. I don't really have any units that. Oh no, wait, no, me and mortars. I can't hit jack with mortars. It's just awful.
Oh really? Mortars are your problem.
I think I've only. In all the games of ball tactics I played, I think I'm going to say I've hit less than 5 times.
Really?
First time. I mean, Ian, bloody hell. It's like his dice are just magnetically attracted into when it's his knee, those bloody knee mortars or his normal mortar. As soon as he picks a dice up, I'm thinking, right, we're seeing 6s across the board here, and most of the times it is. So no. It's just my legendary crap dice rolling.
Well, I used to be really shit at morale checks in bolt action. Oh my god, I always fail morale checks in bolt action. Constantly.
Yeah, I'm not.
Liam's always. I think Liam literally feels sorry for me sometimes because he knows we're recording it as well. Because he can't say do a re-roll, mate. And I literally constantly fail them, and I'm like, fuck me. And he even goes, it's always when he says, the little snidey bastard, he goes, you're going to fail that roll. You're going to fail that roll. Whenever he says you're going to fail that roll, I always fail that roll. That's why I was doing it to you, Martin, the other day when I was up there. I was saying, you're going to fail that, mate. I was rubbing some on you.
That's nice, isn't it? And I bought you a kebab.
I bought you some beautiful resin. I bought you some beautiful resin in a pot.
Love it. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to using that.
It's actually really good. I've actually used it, and it is
What, the
actually
pot you're
really,
sending
really.
me?
Yeah, exactly.
No, not that pot.
He's used half the. He's not going to send you a new pot, Martin. For God's sake, come on.
No, I just tried your pot out, mate. I haven't used mine yet.
Just check. Yeah. To be fair, I'd say that's fair enough. Yeah, it's like if you buy a CD to someone, do you rip it first and then onto your thing before sending it?
Damn right you do.
Oh, Jesus.
When was the last time? To be honest, I can't remember the last time I bought a CD. Oh no, actually, tell her Christmas because Laura always wants a CD, and I really wanted our new car not to come with a CD player, just so I could say, "Look, you're old now."
The last actual physical CD I bought was is it Floodlands by Sisters of Mercy? I think that was the last one I bought.
Was that Steve? May 1997?
No, it's three. It was it was 3 years ago.
Where's all my CDs?
I don't know why I'm getting all. I don't know why I'm getting all up about this. I'm turning 30 in January. Oh my god, I'm going to be old.
Oh, you're ancient.
God, must be.
You passed it.
It must be awful. It really must be.
You're basically dead. Yeah.
It's not great.
Just give up. If I was you.
Laura's coming up 32 in April. She ain't going to like me for saying that.
So says Tom the Wargamer says, "Am I planning on doing a full ECW project or just painting the King and Country box?" I
can't go on that.
I'll end up painting more than just a box. I've already bought more.
Actually, that leads into a really good question.
There you go, folks. Looking forward to his Ancients October. You got fucked.
It's not. It's going to be. There will be. It's just going to be Ancients in October. Apart from some games, but yeah.
I know we're right up against time here, but that feeds a question I saw somebody else ask on a Facebook page, which I thought would be a really good one. Was when you're doing a project, do you buy all the figures up front that you need? Do you buy the little bits? Do you buy unit by unit, but have a plan of what you're going to build as an army? So I know I'm going to need 5 companies of infantry and a tank and what have you, and you build it bit by bit, or do you just wing it all the way? Go on, Martin.
Oh my god!
You bought all the figures, so what do you do?
I buy a core and then add more as I go. So I'll buy
painted them.
The core units. Yeah, I'll buy the core units that I need, which is what I've done for these Carthaginians.
Yeah.
And then I added the elephants. Okay, admittedly, I added them like 30 seconds later in this case, but I've already now started looking out for another.
What about your ECW?
What about them, Ken?
You got a core set, haven't you? Have you finished them before you bought some more?
No, I haven't. I haven't bought any new figures. I've got some different helmets coming and a book. That's what's next.
Okay. Until next week when we tune in to find out if Martin has bought some more miniatures.
He hasn't bought. You notice he said
they do look really good, don't they? They do look really good.
He bought second-hand ones from eBay.
Yeah, that don't count though. Second-hand's good.
It's recycling.
But now I've done. No, exactly. I've done both. So I've done it where you buy all the minis up front, and I've also done it where you buy them gradually. At the minute, I'm buying them gradually, and I think that's better. Honestly, I really do, because you've got the choice, haven't you? Go on.
Gone very uncannily. That was the subject of the latest video on my channel today about how I go about building a bolt action army.
I haven't watched that one yet.
So what I tend to do is I start up with your basic, infantry box, and then choose my selector, do my research, make sure I'm doing it correctly, and then I'll add what I want. I just don't go out and the only time I've ever bought an entire army was those Australians. I went to Warlord Games HQ and bought everything
as well, don't you?
The entire range, everything got. Sorry.
You get a deal as well, don't you, with Warlord when you buy all their metal stuff, don't you?
I didn't.
Straight. Oh, did you not?
Was I ripped off here?
No,
It was the weekend. What was I supposed to haggle? Was I supposed to haggle at the tip?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mate, I always do that
mate.
when I go to Warlord. Oh, no. On a genuine serious note, whenever I go to Warlord, I say, I've got money here. What can you do for me? Always. Because I can get it third party cheaper. You want my business? What can you do? They always chuck in a box set or something like that, like a box of inventory. Or a tank. You're missing out, Steve.
No.
He's such
my haggling skills were such that I got bugger all. No, I
Next time, just call me
enough
up. Yeah, next time, call me up when you're there and put me on video.
Yeah, put you on the phone. Yeah. Can I just put you through to my accountant? He wants a word with you.
I've got my advisor on the other line. Please talk. Hey,
and then all of a sudden, you just like pan to an outside cat and you hear, "Hello there, mate. What can you do for young Steve here?"
Brilliant, brilliant. I love it.
No, I am.
Sorry,
it was the weekend they released all the funky cool Australian models, and I just walked in and went right. And I wasn't planning on buying them all, but I was like, yeah, I'll have one of those, definitely one of those. And then I walked down and thought, well, blimey, I've bought the entire range.
Yes, I see. Poor man.
I'm a bit like you.
I feel ripped off now.
Is a free tank.
Okay.
I'm a bit like you, Steve. I will always I try and start with a particular project in mind, but then it will rapidly expand. So I'll sort of try and keep it under control, but it'll really quickly get out of control, and I'll buy loads more. But yeah, I'll at least keep that. Talking about, we were talking about Travis from Tabletop CP. He's just joined the chat. Hello, Travis. How you doing, mate? We were talking about you earlier.
Yeah, Travis.
Hello.
We'll have to.
Yeah, Boney's Miniatures has just popped in as well.
Oh, that's a shame.
Hello, Boney.
Coming to the end of the show.
Yeah, literally the end of the stream.
That's what I've stuck together tonight. There we go. And I've still got 2 elephants and a couple of skirmishers to do. But that's also including green stuffing loads of capes and furs onto my veterans.
I'll just look forward to the progress videos that you're going to do every single week, Martin. I can't wait.
I am going to be doing a progress video every single week, and I'm going to do a couple of painting videos. And yeah. There we
I'm
go.
still fascinated
Martin,
by that.
Martin, I've got a really important. I've got a really important question.
Yeah, go on then.
With those figures you've built, what's the figure to flesh wound ratio?
Well, my thumb has gone this weird kind of colour, and it's a bit flappy. I can make it kind of do like a ventriloquist thing here. my thumb can sing at the minute. It's because I've decided to use this scalpel blade, and I was just trimming off. I was trying to make some bare heads, so I've got a few bare heads in here, but because they're Hannibal's veterans that have just crossed the Alps, and that's the whole theme I'm going for. So they've just crossed the Alps. They're grizzled. They probably haven't had a shave. I'm going to get some the barbarian heads from my mate's got the Victrix Ghoulish set. So I'm just going to have some beardy people in here as well without the helmets on. So, but because I was trying to just make some of the skirmishers and Numidians look a bit different, I decided to sort of shave their heads, and that's why I've sliced my fingers to ribbons. One thing I will say about those pikes for the English Civil War, when I was sticking the pikes together, I jabbed myself on that pike about 5 times while I was painting it.
Oh, you will do it a lot more than that, Martin. They are a nightmare, those pikes. And when you got the whole pike block with them all sticking up, and you bloody put your hand in the box to pick them up, and next thing you know, you're picking them up.
Oh, I bet a phalanx. I bet a phalanx is lovely.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nightmare. Yeah.
There we go.
Somebody I used to use those sort of piano wire to do it, and it was freaking awful. But well done. So before we move on, those big blocks. Explain to me why you're doing such big blocks.
I'm using what you mean? What these size? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. First of all, just I want to do it. Just because I've seen some people do it before, and I thought visually it looks quite cool. You can do a lot more with the bases. You can have like a theme or something on it. Second of all, the only reason, I'm going to use it basically for Hail Caesar and for Impetus. Hail Caesar, the only reason I can really see to not have them in a block is in case you want to go into a column, but I can work around that easy enough, I think. But yeah, the other system I want to use is Impetus, and that's all based on sort of large bases, putting the whole unit on a base. So yeah, just a bit different. I just want to try. I might hate it as I start doing it and take them all off, but it's taken me a while to sort of decide on the unit. So that's what I'm doing for skirmishers.
Yeah,
there's going to be mounts like that. So it's sort of half the size, and then I don't know. I think really from a modelling, all the sort of chatting we've been having about the bases and that, I just figured it would probably look quite cool. So,
yeah, I think it will look really visually quite nice. And as you say, you can almost make it a nice diorama, but it's just so weird to see such big blocks. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think when I've got more models in the army, so I would plan on getting at least another set like this, and you've got these blocks moving around together, and you expand out, it might look a bit more. I just wanted to kind of look quite chunky on the table.
Yeah, no, I like it. Yeah. Well, I've done 12 horses, but I haven't done much of them. That's all I've done.
No, that's all right. I've managed to actually paint one completely. I'm actually doing these to completion. I'm not doing them batch, which is even weirder. Done another horse to completion, and I'm 80% way through this guy. So happy days. I'll get this cavalry done hopefully by the end of this week. That's another battalion ready to go, and then back onto some light infantry, I think. But yeah, that's me. What about you, Steve?
I was quite successful. So I'm repainting sections of 8. So I've repainted their greatcoats, their flesh, their weapons, their webbing, and their water bottles. So all that's next is the bread bags and a few details, and then a bit more basing, and they're done. So I'm quite chuffed with that.
Yeah, good job.
That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. And I think that is a good way to end the stream, I think.
It is indeed.
So thank you very much for joining us on the Plastic Crack podcast. We shall all see you again next week. And take care, and bye-bye for now.
Take care.
Thanks very much, guys. See you later.
See you now. Bye.